Scouting for bucks in the big woods is kind of a daunting task sometimes. A lot of people wonder, geez, how you going to figure out where the bucks are and, where the sign is, where you might find one. Because there aren't bucks or there aren't deer everywhere in the big woods. We've got to find the key areas where it might be holding deer, where it's feed or terrain or whatever it is. You got to try to locate those areas because you could wander around long time in the big woods and you might not even be with as many deer. So first thing I do if I'm going to go and check a new area is I go over some maps, kind of look, see where the road systems are. I try to find places with the least amount of roads because that'll get me further away from where anybody else might be hunting. Then the next thing I might do is take we've got technology nowadays. I might go on to Google Earth or Flash Earth or one of those satellite imaging things, because why do I do that? It might look like a great area and I get on that Google Earth and zoom down and it's all clear cut, or it's old clear cuts, or it might be some thick area I don't want to hunt. So I look at that kind of gives me an idea of what the woods might look like when I get there. So then from there, I usually, to try to find the buck sign, what I do is I follow the water. A couple of reasons for that. Deer, obviously, if you got ponds and big bogs and stuff, they got to go around them. When I'm scouting for bucks, the first thing I'm really looking for, the main thing is, especially up here in the northeast and northern woods, I'm looking for brown ash trees because that's predominantly what they signpost rub on. So I want to find these signpost rubs. Where the brown ash grow? They grow around the wet areas. So either around bogs, streams, whatever. So I walk those water courses. It might be a little trickle that runs up into a ridge or a mountain or something, but that's where I'm going to find brown ash if there's any in the area. If I find a lot of sign of feeding sign, maybe I go up through and there's an old cut or something and I'm finding lots of tracks punched in. Well, that's good. It's a good sign. There's a lot of does in the area. So if there's a lot of does in the area, obviously there's going to be some good bucks there. They might not be, and probably aren't right with those does, in the fall or whatever, but early fall, they're going to be looking for those does. Because the big bucks are usually going to, when they get ready to bed down, spend their day or whatever, they're going to be in some secluded spot, usually away from most of the deer. So we're going to have to go find those type areas where those bucks might be hanging out. Might be up on the high ridges and the green growth up in the edges, might be in the swamps, wherever it is. But by following along and looking at those signposts, usually what I'll do is when I find one, I look for the trail that came and went from there. I'll follow that track the best I can and kind of, whether it's the lay of the land or kind of think like the deer. Okay, where's he going to go? They usually follow the path of least resistance. And one good signpost rub, punch it in, make it as a mark, whatever. If I find another one, punch that in, spend the day scouting. Well, when I get all back, I can kind of take those points, put them on a map, and kind of almost like a puzzle. Then you can take your map and you can almost piece together how deer may be traveling in that area by looking at those signposts. It's telling you where those bucks are traveling. Now, it's not all the same buck. Every buck doesn't go to the same signpost, but if you get that up on a map and you put those points in, you're really going to get a feel for how those bucks are traveling through that particular piece of woods. If you don't find any signposts, you don't find any brown ash. If you do find brown ash and there's no rubs, you can't find any rubs or signpost rubs, hey, there ain't many bucks around there. They're not using that area. Go find another area. The only thing you might take into account is some areas have different types of trees that are signpost rubs. You just got to figure out what's the predominant one in your area. If it's out west, it might be more spruce or cedar or something like that, red pine. But up in the northeast, it's predominantly brown ash. So anyways, good luck scouting.